What is going on with my alma mater right now? What is going on with Michigan? Right
you got to replace an entire O-line. You got to replace a leader and a really talented quarterback. And Blake Corum. Obviously, they still have Donovan Edwards. I think they're good there. They have really good tight ends. I think they're going to be really nasty on the defensive side of the ball. I think they'll be elite on the D-line. You have the best corner in the country, who's like one of the guys I know is up there on that staff. Just kind of raves about Will Johnson and how sees the game like a quarterback and all. Just like off the charts intangibles. They added a really good transfer in Jay Sharp Barnum from Maryland, who's fits. He's like a nasty physical guy. So I think defense is really good. So the question is, I think they're probably a 3, maybe a 4-loss team because I just think they lost too much on offense. And we'll see whether it's Alex Orji, whether it's going to be Davis Warren.
So you don't think Michigan's going to defend their title? I have a chance.
I mean, having a chance. I think they lost too much.
You do.
I don't think it's a reflection of, it's just everything was building towards last year. And not only, I still think they're really talented on defense, but they also lost, the best leader on the defensive side of the ball. Now he's playing for the Commanders. He was a great, utility knife. And I think they just, I'm not saying they don't have any good leaders left.
Right.
I just think they lost too much from last year's team.
What about the NCAA circling? Is there anything going on there?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, didn't they just get the?
They did. But again,
some document of it to let them know what's coming on the Connor Stalions front.
That's
for some. How did that not get leaked? I'm kind of stunned that didn't get leaked.
I don't think there's that much
stuff.
Yeah, I don't think there's that much different in this one than the one that got leaked a week before or whatever in the formal one. From what I heard, it had come up about Sharon Moore deleted text. From what I'd heard, I don't know if they're going to anything substantive was in the deleted text that they already actually have now.
Right.
It's a bunch of those people are now not working at Michigan anymore, right? And so again,
including the subject of a documentary right now. Have you watched that?
I have. I saw it. I saw a lot of you in there, by the way.
You know what? It's interesting. You know who's also interested in that? My lawyer. I haven't heard. Nobody asked. Nobody reached out about using any of our material there. Just throwing that out there. But that said, what'd you make of it? Because I haven't seen it. I've heard a lot of people saying what you just said. You're in it a lot.
You're in it a lot,
which is great.
So it's definitely interesting because you see Connor's backstory. If he grew up, dressing as Bo Schembechler when he was 7 years old for Halloween.
Isn't that lovely?
And he grew up
just like you, Rich.
I am sure he was a bigger Michigan fan growing up than. That's great. This really hurts you. You don't want to talk about
No, it's all right. No. I wish he grew up loving George Perlis more. You know what I mean? That would have been great. Because seriously,
this really hurts you.
Here's what happens. Is that again? My opinion on all this. I don't need to review it. Although apparently it has been placed in front of the Netflix viewing audience. That there had to be something up with this guy, right?
Yes,
and the fact that he's like, does that even look like me on the Central Michigan sideline? And then Portnoy's like, he told me he did that, and it's the cartoon lying, right? That makes whatever you think is bad about it worse. And that's what it's like, bro. If you're just going to sit here and deny and lie and whatever about what you did, not about, what maybe others knew, then you're making it worse. And go away. Go away.
I think the thing that kind of jumps out at is how Connor sees himself compared to how almost everybody else sees it. Almost everybody else is there's a big gulf between those two things in terms of the perception of it.
Yes.
And not. Now, if you're a Michigan fan, which obviously you are,
yes, sir,
the best thing you can cling to is once he was gone, they still won all the games.
That's what I said on McAfee's show when we did the simulcast, Root and Branch. She started making fun of me. You know what we should do? We should send you to Connor Stalions' house to enlighten him on the way the rest of the world views him. Would you do that, Chris, if we find you?
No, I want nothing to do with this ever again.
Nah, you and me both.
I don't like talking about this.
I know. It's one of those stories that just there's a little bit of Galooly feel in this, if you remember that reference.
Write it down. Galooly feel. By the way,
Late entry.
as a fantasy team name, or just by the way, you've come up with a great adjective. There's a Galooly feel to it.
That's like, there's definitely like the gang that could, like in some ways, I think Connor is very smart about certain things, but then there's other things where you're like, okay, he was incredibly sloppy in how he did this. Like other people may, you hear are doing things on not the same scale in terms of the advanced scouting, but have drifted into those waters, but they have not left a trail of breadcrumbs like this.
So I think let's just, before I let you go, let's come up with the definition of Galooly feel.
Good.
Where something nefarious taking place, but too much, three-dimensional chess is being ascribed to what is something completely slapdash and sloppy. Would you say that?
Yeah,
that something happened that the whole world is talking about that potentially affected competition or was attempting to affect competition, but ultimately did not. As we all know, Nancy Kerrigan still crushed it.
Yep.
Right? So that's a Galooly feel.
So
did it come up with it?
She won the silver.
And Michigan won the gold.
Have you seen this documentary yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
What, the one on Netflix you're referring to? Yeah. The one that I'm apparently all over?
So there's a part of it where there's a big Ohio State message board guy who goes on, but
great,
is masked. Like, for all we know, it could be Del Tufo going on there to zing you.
That would be great.
Zing me?
And Michigan fans. You don't know.
What, me in particular?
Well, he's...
Message board dude uses my name?
No, he's not going after you. He's obviously hates Michigan. But
he's masked? Like he's masked?
It totally could be me.
Masked. It totally could be.
What do you mean masked? Like he's Nacho Libre or something? Like, what does he look like?
Oh, you'll see it.
I don't want to see it.
I have to watch this now.
I'm not watching this. Well, a number of people that text me like, you're all over this thing.
You are all over this thing.
When I get my residual check, I'll let you guys know. Kidding.
Wow. I love
just to throw it out.
Like 60 Minutes? Like his face is black?
No, he comes on in
on
a ski mask and sunglasses.
Oh, great. So a message board dude is allowed to wear a disguise and spout off on anything. Is that what you're telling me? And then, just so everyone understands, if you use Rich Eisen Show material, you do have to ask permission.
Please get clearance.
Yeah. That's the way it works, right? Holy crap. Hey, listen, I was on the Brady roast and now I'm on this. I'm all over Netflix.
Nice, love it.
Go figure that. All right. Thanks, Bruce.
Bruce.
I do. You're right. I mean, this thing, but the NCAA is not going to page turn here. Just so, I guess, in all seriousness, does anything of what we just discussed come home to roost and suddenly we're talking Petitti's acting, the NCAA's acting during this playing season?
They already suspended Jim Harbaugh for a significant amount of the season. Like, it wasn't like he didn't get got in that regard.
6 games.
Right.
Well, 3 for the burger and 3 for this. Right.
So, and it wasn't like they said, hey, we're going to suspend you for Miami of Ohio and, like
Penn State. Penn State, Ohio State, and the trap game of Maryland in between.
So you get, like there was a significant punishment there. And again, those guys are gone. Like, are you really going to suspend this to punish Davis Warren?
They sent a show cause letter to Harbaugh across the street.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's like again, my physics teacher saying you're missing a lab back in junior year of high school.
I'm sure.
So if you ever come back here, you're in trouble.
Connor Stalions will have a long time show cause, but it's like, is that going to matter? Who's going to hire him in college football? I mean, if somebody would hire him, it would be for some kind of behind the scenes thing.
Is he wearing a disguise and maybe you don't know it's him?
I don't know.
Him saying, like, I don't know. Is that me? I have no idea. Cut to Portnoy. That's him. He told me it was him. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.